Welcome to Seven Figure Builder, everything new construction and development. My name is Arthur the developer. I have done over 1,000 lots developed to date, specifically for the new construction game, and we have Ruben right here.
What's up guys, I'm Ruben the Builder. I've built over 250 homes in the past 5 years. Super excited to share about underwriting today with you guys, so let's jump into it.
Ruben, if you want to break down the 3 sections on the financial side of it. Awesome,
yeah guys, so as we switch over to this iPad right here for you guys, there's 3 major sections in underwriting. The first section is going to be lot price, okay? The second section is going to be cost to build. And the last section is going to be after build value. It's really important to understand these 3 sections because in these 3 sections, that's how you're going to be able to understand if I need to move forward in the deal or not.
On that, can you actually break down what that looks like? So from the ABV, which a lot of people think ARV. ARV is after repair value because that's typically fix and flip when you're whatever you're doing. But we are here specifically focusing on build value. So when it's finished, maybe on the iPad, because it's really interesting. It goes backwards, right? It goes from the value of the home, the construction, and then the lot price, which we covered in the first episode, and that was that 15 to 25% rule. If you can break that down for us on that iPad.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna work backwards, so we're gonna work this way. So the very first thing that you wanna do before building a house is figuring out what are you going to build. So what's important here is bedroom, bathroom count, okay? And square footage, and potentially lot size. What this really is comps. So this is all just comps.
So what are comps?
Comps are comparables. So once you get a comparable for what you want to build, right? Realtors know what this is. Let's just say we find a comp for $500,000, okay? So let's put in 500K here. Now we have one piece of the puzzle and we can start to work backwards. So in this case, let's just say for 500K, we're going to build a 2,000 square foot home, all right? And bedroom, bathrooms count is gonna be a 3-2. Now we know where we're aiming and where we're going. Once we have that, Arthur, explain cost to build.
So nationwide cost to build, what I have seen is, depending on the area, it's anywhere from $125 to $200 a square foot. Now, a lot of people argue and say, well, the builder told me it's $400. There's no way it costs you $400 a square foot unless you're building a Beverly Hills style home or you're in Scottsdale on the hill building a $20 million house or $10 million house. The reason I say that is we have students across the nation. I've noticed Indiana, Florida, Texas, Oregon, Washington, California, Arizona, all of those states, typically a spec home. What is a spec home? It's just a entry level home. You can do slightly nicer finishes, but you're doing everything that's entry. If you look at a national builder, you can add a little bit nicer finishes than that, but you're not doing floating staircases. You're not doing anything crazy like that. So actual numbers in Oregon, Washington, California, I'm seeing 160 to 170 a square foot. In St. John's, Indiana, for example, I have a student there building a home. He's at roughly 165 a square foot. In Florida and Texas, it is a little bit less expensive to build there. I'm looking at that 110 to 130 a square foot. So again, rule of thumb, depending on your area, $125 to $200 a square foot. Plus you have a builder fee, which is typically 10 to 15%. I always recommend you hire a builder. I don't necessarily want to be a builder, but if you're already a GC or you have your contractor license, it makes it a little bit easier for yourself.
So we have that in the ARB down here, we have 2,000 square feet, right? We're going to bring that into the cost to build up here. So like Arthur said, 125 to 200. In this case, we'll just go with 150. So we'll multiply $150 by 2,000. So we're going to be at 300K cost to build right here. So now we have 2 pieces of the puzzle out of the 3. And the last piece of the puzzle is going to be 15 to 25%.
Is a rule of thumb,
Is a rule of thumb for the ARB, which is that 500K down here.
But make sure, the rule of thumb just gives you a ballpark to make an offer. You want to work backwards and say, that 15 to 25%, that's not a hard number. Based on these 2 numbers, based on the value of the property of 500, the build of 300, plus a builder fee. So let's say on the 300, you need a $30,000 builder fee. So you're at $330,000 for the construction plus builder fee. What can I pay for the lot to still have that equity in the deal?
So as you guys can see, we multiplied that $500,000 after build value by 20%, in this case, somewhere right in the middle. And now we know that we can pay around $100K for the lot. So as you guys can see, we have those three key numbers all figured out here. We have a build cost of $300,000, a lot cost of $100,000, and our total after build value is $500K. And so before cost of financing, we're already roughly $100K profit.
Minus your builder fee.
Minus builder fee
of 30K.
So
in this case, I would personally offer 75 grand for the lot.
So before cost of financing, this deal is a potential $70,000 profit.
The second section, or the other section I focus on, is how do you know it's a buildable lot? So very simple. I always say it's three things that are really important. How do you connect to sewer? How do you connect to water? And how do you get power to the property? So electricity. Those are the three main factors for me to know if it's at least a buildable lot. Then you have all of these other factors, like is the property sloped? Is it flat? Area, ARV, all of that is important. But really, can I build a house, a duplex, a fourplex? So in that buildable lot section, you want to know, is there sewer? Yes or no? Typically, you reach out to the county or the city. They'll give you that answer. And then you want to verify with the city and county, is it public or is it private? If it's public, this is where you might have an issue. If it's public sewer and the sewer line is 200 feet away, you can't go put a septic tank because it's public. They require you to connect to public sewer. You might have to extend. So I always want to make sure sewer's in the street or it's really close. What would be a good rule of thumb for close? Because I know you have to extend sewer and water, right?
Yeah.
On your personal house.
Yeah, so really important to understand, right? You typically don't want to do a sewer extension if you can. And the reason being is it can be very expensive. In my situation, I bought a lot. There was an easement and a city sewer line going through the property right on the edge. And so for me to just create a lateral to the sewer main was around $10,000. And so that's fine, right? But if you have to do an actual sewer extension, let's just say the sewer ends earlier in your neighborhood road, that could be a very big problem. Or in this case, like if the sewer doesn't go, can you do septic? Most of the times to do septic, you're gonna have to have a much bigger lot because they need a drainage field.
Thank you so much for getting this far into the video. If you're an action taker and you're looking for the education side of things, the tools, the resources, everything you need to be successful in the real estate development and new construction game, we have an education platform specifically for you.
Awesome, so text the word YouTube to 360-216-0323 and we'll get you connected to the right team member.
So this all goes into section 2 of underwriting. So sewer is a big one. How far is it? And if it's septic, is the lot big enough to accommodate the sewer?
Yeah, so I would say utilities, zoning, and then you could do like existing condition, meaning what is the lot? Is it sloped or not? And so with the sewer line, Ruben, I think it's really important to understand where it's located, and you can call for locates. What do you call for locates?
811, call to dig.
So you can call 811, they will spray paint. Can we go through real quick? What are the colors that they spray paint? Green is sewer, blue is water, and white is power, correct?
Usually, yep. And
then yellow would be gas. So you can always call them. They're usually a few days out. They're gonna say, well, are you planning to dig? And you can say, yes, we're planning to dig. And then if they say, what's your timeline? Just say ASAP, right?
Yeah, they're required to show up with 24 to 48 hours by law.
Just say ASAP, so within 3 days. And that will allow them to get out there and spray it. There's no cost to you. And you'll at least understand where those existing utilities are. You can also look and there's like a manhole that says S, but that's the easiest way to do it. The second way, that's the first way to verify. The second way is reaching out to the city and county and asking, hey, where's the sewer, water, and power? I already know what they're gonna respond with power. They're gonna say, oh, sewer's here, water's here, but power is not our jurisdiction, call this number, because there's a power company. So then you gotta call the power company and say, I'm looking to find out where power is. I'm building a home right here. They will give you the idea, oh, the power is right here. You'd have to go underneath the street. it would cost roughly $3,000 to $8,000 to connect to power. So that's where you want to just verify the cost of every one of those items when you're underwriting the deal. Sewer, water, power. You could, if you like gas, you could find out how much gas is, but that's not going to be a deal killer to me because I can put I can put an electrical water heater, I can put an electric furnace. So that doesn't, it's not an end all be all kind of deal killer, but gas sometimes will say, oh, it's 3,000 for us to bring gas to your property, or 5,000, whatever that number is. The whole point is you want to check off these things. Those are most important. When you verify those things, you verify the numbers make sense, you can make a certain offer, they accept that offer, you understand the utilities. The last step is just making sure, oh, go ahead, Ruben, hop in on that iPad. But I was gonna say the last step is that bucket of existing conditions, right? Is it flat, is it not?
Awesome, guys. So I just wanted to clarify. So like Arthur said, those are the few different ways you can find out utilities. And the last way, the third way to find utilities is going to be to Google your county, GIS, or Property Information Center. And typically there's an interactive digital map. You can turn on sewer overlays, sometimes water, depending on your jurisdiction, electrical or natural gas, and you can see those. But those are the three different ways. So contact your city or county, call 811 to dig, or that online interactive map.
Cool. So quick summary is the number side of things. You want to understand what the house is worth. You want to understand the construction costs. That will allow you to know what you should pay for the lot. For a rule of thumb, to make an offer, you can offer 15 to 25% of that value. Then when you're underwriting the deal, you can start skinnying it up, because you could say, oh, sewer line is 10,000. You can go for a $10,000 price reduction with the seller, right? So now you understand the financial aspect of it. Then you have the buildable lot aspect, which is there sewer, private or public? Is there water, private or public? And is there power? Then if you want gas, Comcast, CenturyLink, those items are optional because there's also Dish. And with those things, once you verify where those are, you can then step to zoning. Because what's the point in doing a full zoning overview if there's no sewer, water, or power? No point. I don't even want to waste my time. So again, numbers, do they make sense? Check mark. Utilities, are they there? Check mark. Next step is zoning. What could I build? A duplex, a fourplex, or a single family home? All those together will give you a really good idea on should I move forward with this deal. Thank you guys so much for watching how we underwrite a deal or making sure the numbers pencil. If you have not yet, this is step 2, which is episode 2 of the 7-step process. Step 1 is how to find a lot. So we break that down in detail, understanding what you're looking for. If you have not, go take a look at that video. And then the next episode I'm excited for is going to be the plans and design. What are you actually going to build on this property?
Awesome, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment. We'd love to answer every one of your guys' comments. And then follow us on Instagram. My @ is @RubenTheBuilder, _ Arthur's is Arthur the Developer. And then we also have an online community channel of over 3,000 people in there. They're constantly asking questions, interacting with each other. It's a great place for builders, lenders, and anybody in real estate to connect and network. There's so much power networking in real estate. So here's that link to that community channel. See you inside.
Let's crush it.